Hey guys, this is No Solution. I'm Scott. It's been a little bit. The last thing I did was the wrestling stream with Trevor from Fumes of Hatred and Dan from Moonshine Talking. I didn't know if anyone would be interested, and there not a ton of people watch, but a lot of people stop by just to say hi, and I've had some good comments about it afterwards. So thank you to anyone who dropped by and who left a comment. It was a lot of fun. The three of us just we had a bunch of topics, and then we just kind of got on there and just talked about wrestling, talked about things we're passionate about, and we could have gone hours and hours, but it was late and I had to call it. So I really hope we can do another one sometime in the future. Yeah, so a bit of a silly title for this one. I obviously do not think I am a big deal, but just a couple of things I've got in the mail that I wanted to thank the people who gave them to me and whatnot for mentioning me in a nice way. So let's get right into it. First off, just released the new CD, the new full-length album from Mordant Rhed, Eat Pussy for Satan. That was a song on their Live at the Z-Bar EP. So they use that for the title of this album, and there's a song, Eat Pussy for Satan, but it's Eat Pussy for Satan 2. It is a different song. So we have 9 tracks here. It's about 27, 28 minutes, so they get in and get out, which I do appreciate. I would rather have an album that I want to just listen to and then start all over again than kind of be sick of it and waiting for it to end. But I wanted to thank the band, primarily Ravak, the singer, who has his own YouTube channel, which I'm sure it's huge. I'm sure everybody who would watch this would know about them. But I was looking through the thanks list, and see if we can get... I can't see... I know, I'm not trying to get you to see my face. I'm just trying... Oh, there it is. Okay. Yeah, they thanked me, Scott, No Solution. So that was really awesome. Multiple times he's brought me up as, a channel he likes, which I'm very flattered, but like, I would think like with his personality, wearing the mask and yelling and everything, that he would look at this fucking loser sitting in his basement and just kind of talking boring, like who would watch this junk? But he's been very kind to me, so I really appreciate it. But anyway, who cares about that? Let's talk about the album. I'm a fan of the band already, so I was predisposed to like this, but even so, I think it exceeded my expectations. I mentioned to them, a thing I really like about the band is that they continually use different styles. It's not an album or an EP or whatever where every song is interchangeable, and by the time you're done, you can't remember like what song was what. They really mix it up and keep it interesting, which I really appreciate, and I think that's kind of brave to move into different areas and not just stick with one thing. So I'll just go through. I'm not going to talk about every song, but just kind of to illustrate my point. The first song, My Hatred Burns, is kind of like, I'm not a musician, so I may be wrong about this. D-beat is what comes to mind. Kind of a blackened punk sound, and just super catchy. And when it kind of breaks down and he goes, "Fuck off, motherfucker!" It's just like a rallying cry. It's just so fun and so powerful, and I just really enjoyed that one. The next song, Spread the Convent with AIDS. If you don't know, they had a contest to name some songs on the album, and that was one of the contest winners. This one, again, like totally different. Really frenzied speed at the beginning, and then it gets to like a kind of a doomy section with like some atmospheric keyboards, and then goes back into a speedy part. And this is all within 2.5 minutes. So like, not only are the songs themselves in different styles, like within the songs, it's not just, they don't just get on one riff and then that's the song. The lead single, I guess you would say, the video that came out before the album, I killed 3 people with a crowbar. I enjoy the humor, and I enjoy the this one is kind of harkens back to Hatred for Humanity, kind of that G.G. Allen kind of rocking vibe. Yeah, instant hit for me. And then, we just keep going. Underground Rape Cult, the next song is just raging hatred. The Man Who Fucked Life is more of a mid-paced kind of groovy thing with a really catchy kind of sing-along chorus. And we just keep going. I mean, I enjoy every song, obviously some more than others, but it's 9 songs, under a half hour. It's on Goat Throne Records, and I ordered it, and it came super fast. They sent it out like that day or whatever the next mail day was, and I highly, highly recommend it. So, Mordant Rhed, Eat Pussy for Satan. And thank you again for being included in the thanks list. That really made an old man feel good. Now, another package I got, this was very unexpected, was from Kevin, a.k.a. Funeral Grave of Graveworm. And every once in a while, he'll just send me stuff like, stuff he doesn't want anymore, or, extra CDs or stuff like that. But this one came. He didn't tell me who was sending it, and this is what it is. You can see it's the new album. As I've discussed earlier, this is there's been 3 album releases this year, full-length albums, and he's already completed the next one, which he's not planning to release until 2025. Let's see if I can destroy the disc. Wow, that'd be great. So yeah, he just had it done and thought I would like to hear it, so send it to me. And I'm not going to talk too much about it because it's not out yet, and I don't know when it's coming out, but suffice to say, I really like it. So thank you so much, Kevin. That really made me feel good and feel like a little special boy that I got to hear the album before most other people. And he included some of his notes on the songs, like lyrics and like time cues of what was happening when. And so as a Graveworm nerd, I'm happy to have that, and I'll add it to my Graveworm archive. Also in that package, he sent me some CDs, and I've got such a backlog of, Blind Buy stuff, and I said, oh, that's cool, and I just kind of, set them to the side, and a few days later he said, hey, have you checked out this one that I sent? And I said, no, I haven't yet, and he highly recommended it, so I made a point to pull that one out and listen to it, and holy shit, I don't know how unknown this is. I had never heard of it. Migaz, I believe is how it is pronounced. You can see there how it's spelled. And the album is Open Season. Came out in 2003, I believe. Just a self-release, unmastered. And this was finally mastered by Joel Grind and put out in 2018 on Night something. Wow. Great job, guys. I'll leave a link below because the label still has copies. I think this was limited to 500, but there's still copies. And if you go on Discogs and try to buy this, it's nuts. I've never understood that. Like, I've seen very expensive things on Discogs when you can just go to the label and buy it, but it is what it is. So this is one of those that make me chase that Blind Buy Dragon, because this is amazing, and I'd never heard of it. You can pick it up for relatively cheap. So what it is kind of war Native American themed death metal. They're from Pennsylvania, if I didn't mention that. I don't think I did. It's a riff fest, man. Every song is just packed full of awesome riffs that keep changing. It's not prog. I wouldn't call it prog or proggy, but it made me think of that because of like all the twists and turns in the songs. They're not, I mean, like I had said earlier with Mordant Rhed, they don't just, get on a groove and stay on it and then that's the song. Super catchy. Lots of traditional heavy metal influence in this. It's not your caveman death metal. I would say very adventurous and tuneful, but it's definitely still death metal. Um, there's a cool on the there's an outro, but the last song before that, Within the Mist, the last like 2.5 minutes or so, they go into kind of like a bluesy instrumental part before wrapping the song up that I thought was really cool. This is one of those albums that, you know how sometimes people buy something and then they say like, "Oh, you need this. If you don't have this, you're a poser." When they got it 5 minutes ago, this is that kind of album. Once you hear it, you're like, "How does everybody not know about this?" And then you feel a little superior, like, "Oh, I do." But so, Kevin, thank you so much for sending me this. This is a really great find, and I would urge anyone who's a death metal fan to check this one out. So that, not really a blind buy, but a blind listen, kind of leads me into the last thing I'm going to talk about, I guess. I had a Blind Buy Blasphemies kind of ready to go, listened to everything, had notes, and it's been months, and I just haven't done it. The problem is when everything you listen to is just like fine, you know what I mean? You don't hate listening to it, but you can imagine that within a week you didn't forget anything about it, or even maybe that you have it. And I don't know how useful that is or how entertaining that is to talk about when you're struggling to come up with 2 sentences to talk about something because it's just so whatever. Obviously, if something's really great, I want to share that with people. If something is awful, it might be a little mean, but it's kind of fun to shit on things sometimes. So, but this was just like, I don't know, dude. So I haven't done it. I'm wondering, would anyone who watches those, which they're not that popular, but anyone who does watch the Blind Buy Blasphemies, would you rather I just keep it like I pick out a handful of albums and it is what it is, and I just tell you about them even if they're painfully average, or would you rather I just focus on like the really good, the recommendations, or the ones that are so bad I would say just stay away? So if you could leave some feedback on that, I would appreciate it. Just as a kind of an example of like the things that I had. I kept adding more too, hoping to get something that was really good, and just kind of didn't. Where did my notes go? There we go. Like, for example, this Cult of Fency, I'm sure I'm saying that wrong, from whatever, Chechnya, Czech Republic, whatever it was in 2007. This is their debut album. I'm not going to try to pronounce it. It's just black. How much more black can it get? So, do you really, really, really like Transylvanian Hunger? They do. And that's what this is. Within the first minute, you know what it is. And it's not that long. I think it's under a half hour again, but it's just Transylvania Hunger Worship. What do I say about that? Like, I don't know. If you like Transylvanian Hunger and you want to hear a slight variation on it, then here you go. But another one, Cosmic Atrophy. They've got a few albums out. I think they're American and Canadian, like an international deal. This one's called Codex Incubo. This is like tech death with kind of like a spacey theme. I would say like a poor man's Time Ghoul. It's fine. If you're really into that style, maybe you'd be into this. I don't know. I've got Time Ghoul, Demolic, things like that. If I want to hear something like this, I would listen to those. Oh, thank you for shaking the camera, Kitty. Okay. I don't know if you can hear that. He's yelling at me. Something's wrong. And then, like, the most interesting of that batch that I ended up listening to was not even metal, so I wasn't sure to even include it. I'll just throw it up here. The Bridge City Sinners. So this was in the metal section at a local shop, and it was, it's a little promo deal. This might have been the only way it came. I don't know. But it was $2. I was like, okay. No, this is not metal at all. This is like neo-folk, Americana, bluegrassy kind of music. Luckily, I had listened to this before I looked the band up because it looks like Portland Threw Up, and that's the band. A lot of beards, a lot of face tattoos, and this rides the line. Like, sometimes I can listen to this and be kind of into it, and then sometimes I'm very annoyed by it. It's, you know, it's very much in that, dude, stop it. It's very much in that hipster, retro hipster kind of vein. I don't know if that sounds cool to you. I'll leave a link to one of their videos or something. But yeah, proceed with caution. If you don't like hipster type deals, this might annoy you enough that you don't even want to give it a chance. But it's kind of fun in the right mood. Is that it? I think that's it. I will be going to Metal Threat Fest. It's not quite Metal Threat Fest tomorrow. Probably just for that day on Saturday. I just really want to see Sabat. So if anyone happens to see this and is there, come say hi. Be cool to meet some of you. And one last thing. We'll just throw in some sleaze at the end. Anthony Gambler 812. I don't know if Anthony will see this, but I know he's a big fan of this lady, and so am I. I found this for $1. This giant, one of these old style giant box VHS, a adult film, shall we say? But it's Janine, who is probably one of, if not the most beautiful girls ever to be in adult movies, and just that beautiful picture of her face. I was like, yeah, I'll buy that for $1. So that's it. That is it, you guys. Thank you for watching, and as always, CM Punk is a piss baby. Later.